Ladies and gentlemen, from Rialto, California, Mark Flores presents to you the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast. Tonight's topic, Royal Rumble 2017 plus Seth Rollins injury update. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Mark Flores, and tonight we are discussing the Royal Rumble 2017 reactions, the good, the bad, the ugly of Royal Rumble 2017. To me, the Royal Rumble itself had a very exciting match card. It needed to be, considering the fact that it's necessary in the Royal Rumble. It's necessary in the WrestleMania Survivor Series. And the big four pay-per-views that WWE has need to have impressive match cards. One of the issues that I actually saw right away is that WWE needs to not have title matches on a pre-show. The Club versus Cesaro and Sheamus, it was a title match. It was for the tag team titles. Was taking place during one of the pre-shows. And to me, that is a big no-no as far as booking and as far as how the audience is going to perceive the events that go on within the match. So the match goes on. The Club actually end up winning and actually beat Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw tag team titles. Now, say to yourself this, wow, well, a title change and a title match shouldn't be on a pre-show for the Royal Rumble. It should be on the actual match card itself. I don't know why WWE did not end up doing this, because now you have Cesaro and Sheamus and the Club. You have these two groups not being put on the main card. Now you have the diminished stock of the two tag teams themselves, and not only that, but you also have the diminished stock of the tag team titles itself. If you are booking a match card and you have one of your championship matches on before the crowd can even get there, before the event even starts, the pre-show, it just shows that you have there's not much affection for the title at hand that you're having a match with. And to me, that just doesn't sit well with me. And that's one thing I wanted to get noted out of the way first and foremost. But let's get the first matches out of the way first. If you guys didn't know already, the Club ended up beating Cesaro and Sheamus on the WWE Royal Rumble pre-show. But now we have the SmackDown Women Heels, which consisted of Nikki Bella, Alexa Bliss. You also had Natalya. And then you also had Mickie James versus Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella. The SmackDown team with the baby faces ended up winning. Kind of a surprise. You would have expected that Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, their merger would have went a little forward, and that merger themselves itself would have got a lot more momentum. But to my surprise, they didn't end up going in that direction. So another victory for Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella. So the next match that they had on the card was Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. This feud itself is running kind of stale because some of the angles and some of the matches itself was not recorded on was that there was no match per se. So Nia and Sasha's feud is a stale one, and having it on the pre-show doesn't make it any better. So the next match that we had was Charlotte versus Bayley. Charlotte being booked as an unstoppable heel at pay-per-views. That statistic needs to come to a halt come WrestleMania. It'll be an impressive stat to bring up to that point to where Bayley or Sasha Banks as a babyface might take over. The undefeated stat, like I mentioned, just needs to come to a halt real soon. Otherwise, the people that end up booking at creative might take that a little too forward into the near future, and that's something that you don't want to do, because then Charlotte's going to be the only one with the title come till calendar year 2017. The next match that we had up next was was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title. I myself thought it was a great match. It was going Roman Reigns' way till Braun Strowman got involved. To me, both Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns really did put it all on the line in this match, especially considering that there was a crazy table spot involving Kevin Owens falling back flat on a bunch of chairs. Kevin Owens' chair spot is on the outside, looked extremely dangerous, but I'm glad he went away injury free. So Braun Strowman interrupting Roman Reigns' securing of his title didn't go his way, so now what's going to end up happening is that Roman Reigns might end up facing Braun Strowman come Fastlane, and we'll see who comes out the victor of that. With Kevin Owens, from what I've been hearing, is that Goldberg might come and challenge Kevin Owens at Fastlane. Goldberg then gets the title to then take it to WrestleMania. After that, you had John Cena versus AJ Styles. Match number 3, the rubber match. Just match number 3 because AJ Styles ended up winning twice. So both guys battled tooth and nail in this match till neither could put the other one away. And the way this match was building up is that this was going so back and forth with submissions, counter submissions, moves that tried to top the other. It took 2 attitude adjustments consecutively to put AJ Styles away, and I'm glad that the match once again stole the show. Both of these guys have great chemistry together, and it's good seeing that because this chemistry that they've developed only started at SummerSlam, only started at Elimination Chamber. So it's good to see these guys go at it. It was either Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank when they started this feud here, but still impressive to see nonetheless. So now my Royal Rumble reactions. I just have a few points to make about this. Picks 1 through 20 were the most entertaining to me to see because you were packed with Jack Gallagher's crazy umbrella spots. I thought those were very comedic. The way he came into the ring, the way he had the umbrella and then jumped off the turnbuckle back into the crowd, the way he got eliminated by Braun Strowman and still was able to hold the umbrella was still funny as well. And the biggest pop of the night, Ty Dillinger coming out at number 10, was the biggest treat for NXT fans and the biggest treat for people who were just following Ty Dillinger's career for the longest time. As the Royal Rumble match went on, it kind of grew stale till you had picks number 25 through 30 come out. And when 25 and 30 came out, you had The Undertaker, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns come out during those picks. And giving Roman a spot at this point in the Royal Rumble didn't make any sense to me because, well, since Roman Reigns lost his title shot for the Universal title, since AJ Styles lost his title, doesn't it make sense for him as well to enter in the Royal Rumble as well? Well, that question still goes unanswered. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But from the pick number 30 being the last pick, you had no surprises up until that point. And I'm saying as far as surprises as someone getting called up from NXT besides Ty Dillinger, anyone else like a part-timer or a legend or whatever, either one of those. But none of them came true, and all we had to deal with was Roman Reigns. I think that 30th pick for Roman Reigns was more of like, yeah, look at what we've done, WWE. Look how we can strut our stuff and make you kind of get angry at the fact that Roman Reigns is the 30th pick, and basically solidifying that there is no surprise. There is no surprises in this Royal Rumble at all. Speaking of number 30, a good thing to point out is that since what we're dealing with here is 2 separate brands, SmackDown and Raw, in my eyes, it should be clear to see to everyone else as well is that this needed a 40-man Royal Rumble just to involve a bunch of bodies, just to involve a couple more surprises along the way. But I didn't end up seeing that, so one of the main issues that you have was there was no surprises, no legends, nothing at all. A bunch of marks can say that we're not supposed to expect surprises during a Royal Rumble, but during the last couple of years, that's what we've been seeing. So it's more of a form of habit of us seeing that. But for Royal Rumbles to be more memorable and for these Royal Rumbles to be more iconic, you need surprises. You need surprise entrants. You need surprise victories. Having people like Finn Balor come out. I understand now that Finn Balor wasn't able to go during the Royal Rumble. It's understandable, even though he was one of my picks. And Samoa Joe. We'll go into that a little later. But entrants 20 through 30, to me, poorly booked. But there should have been even placements of these part-timers. These upper tier stars, I should say. But WWE didn't end up doing any of that. So overall, the Royal Rumble event itself was very good, in my opinion. I thought that Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, AJ Styles versus John Cena did go very well. I just think, in my eyes, that the Royal Rumble should have had a little bit more surprises. And due to the fact that there was a brand split, I do believe that there should have been a 40-man Royal Rumble instead of just 30. 30 men versus 40. You end up limiting yourself on dual brands. And one more thing to point out, there was only one SmackDown event taking place during the match card, not including the Raw the 6-man tag, actually the 3-women tag match that was going on with on the pre-show. So the next topic I want to talk about is Seth Rollins' injury update. So during the run-in that Samoa Joe did on Seth Rollins during the closing moments of Monday Night Raw, it turns out that Seth Rollins aggravated his MCL. So he has an MCL tear from what I've been getting on the news reports. And it's going to take about 8 weeks to fully heal. So with today being February 1st, and the WrestleMania being April 24th, you have about two and a half months to actually get this healed and underway. So it's going to be fairly close. So hopefully this doesn't play into affecting any storylines with Seth Rollins not being able to show up at Royal Rumble. And for people to assume that Samoa Joe is an injury prone or gives out injuries a la Seth Rollins, it's total crap. Injuries happen during wrestling. Everyone knows that. It just happens. For the circumstances to happen during this time, it's unfortunate, especially leading up to the Super Bowl of wrestle events for WWE. So it's just a matter of poor timing. You could put up a ton of factors, but blaming another wrestler for aggravating another person's injuries is unacceptable. It just happens. It's a way of the business. And as of this point, we're just more upset at the fact that we might not see Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And it's not more, we're not going to have Samoa Joe as the scapegoat for it. So those are the things I wanted to point out tonight. And I just wanted to give a quick review on Royal Rumble 2017, and I wanted to give my 2 cents going along with Seth Rollins' injury update. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast, available on Spreaker, iHeartRadio. And I also want to thank my sponsors, Game Swappers. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. You can follow Game Swappers on Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Keep in mind that Game Swappers is going to be at the Southern California Retro Game Exposition at the Ontario Convention Center, February 4th and 5th. So it's going to be a big retro game expo for all you retro game fans out there. We're going to be out there. I'm going to be out there with the Game Swappers table helping out. So you'll be able to see me there. Come over. We could talk wrestling if you want. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast. You guys have a good night.